Yo, so how you felt about that situation? What we said? What you think?
What with the calling the kids dad?
Everything murder because you had a lot to say.
Because I just can you close that door real quick? I just feel like I don't know. Maybe my situation is a little different because I actually lived it. But like I was telling Nate, like my dad met. What you trying to
I
get?
can't grab the pic.
Oh, my dad met. I mean, my mother when my sister was a baby, and when they turned 2, they got married. So my dad raised my older sister as his own. Her dad was still in the picture, still very much took care of her, but it just kind of came naturally to call him dad. Now, I don't think that it should be forced or like, for instance, like I'm not going to make Anthony call you dad. Anthony's 11 years old, but I feel like if it's a baby and you in a household and y'all married, like what's the name? Sierra and what's his name? What's his name? Russell. He been there since that little boy was a baby. They married. They in a household together. So it's kind of gonna come naturally to a child to call, man or woman, mom or dad, because they're in that position, regardless of if their real parent is there or not.
Okay, so you said, okay, you grew up with it. Like, they came in to whatever age. You said they started calling him dad. So what if they calling whoever in their life dad? So and their real dad is still in their life. What are they calling their real dad?
She call him dad.
Okay, so you call him dad, and when you come into with y'all, it's still dad, calling both of them dad. So how do you adapt to that situation?
I don't know. I guess it was just maybe just because I'm used to it. Like, it was just natural to her. Her dad respected it because, my sister was in a household with them and they married and he take care of her and he loved her like.
But that's what I'm saying. That's kind of joint. I say, if a dad is just doing shit financially and just doing if you get your dad's take away from you, it's no issue because it's like if you just being financial, that's not being a father. But if you're around,
her dad was there. Like if he still came and got her, her dad was there. I think he just respected the fact that this man is now, even though like my sister always knew that's not your biological father, but he played that role when her dad, not there or whatever the case is, she can still interact with my dad. She still got that same love for my dad to this day. My parents is divorced now. That's not her biological father. That's still her dad.
Okay, but look, see, what's it? So look, so look, this is what I'm gonna tell you. So that worked right there for that, right? So this is what we touched on double standard shit. So now, just say the father caught custody, and he got the next woman, and they calling her mom, and they calling you. You getting called by your first name or your last. How you gonna feel? And you
like still, as the other as my child as the biological mom.
Switch the shoes. Just switch shoes. Now you're the mother. You gave birth. You did this for this child, but now he has the custody because you wasn't in the proper space to really take, but you still did what you could as a mother to take care of your child. You did your motherly responsibilities.
Again, I think it just has to do with the family dynamic and the comfort level of that child. Like, let's say, no, I'm being serious. Like, let's say if Nate was to get married, like this, let's say Nate get married next week, right? And this woman is there in that house, and Natalie is there with her. Now, I might feel a little some kind of way in the beginning, but as a parent, you may still feel some type of way. But like I said, like if it's another woman in the house, if I'm not in the house with, I'm not the parent that's in the household. You and her is in the household. She taking care of my baby every single day for the most part, getting her up, feeding her, shipping her to school, taking her to ballet, all that. If naturally Natalie may start calling her mom, and I will have to understand and respect it because
I'm not jacking.
that's what it would be.
You
No,
too
you
ignorant.
bullshit.
I'm
You
not
lying.
lying.
I'm not. I promise to God, I'm not. I promise to God. Like I just feel like it's something that comes naturally.
We're gonna make you come in and you gotta put your hands
No,
on
we
fat
can't.
ass.
They did that, but we can't do it.
No, what we gotta do? We gotta
Yo, murder. You faking.
I'm dead. Like y'all, I'm all my heart. I'm dead. I just don't feel like. I feel like because
Murder. Just listen and hear me out. Just hear me
What?
out. Okay, so right now, because Natalie's still at a young age, you feel me? Nugget at a point where she's still young. She know her mom and dad. She say daddy, mom, right? So, and she knows you very, not, I ain't gonna say more than the other, but she's with you every single day. From birth till now, she's with you. So it comes down to Nate finds somebody he's rocking with, right? He gets custody or he whatever comes, and she gets to where she's with him, and she's calling the next woman mommy, and then she gets with you, and she's calling you Miss Bowen or Melanie.
No, it would never be like that with a kid. Like no kid is gonna go live with another parent and then be like, she goes, that kid go start calling their mother by their father by their first name. Like, no, they know that's still their parent.
Okay, so that's what I'm telling you. If you notice your parent, is no way it should be acceptable to call the next person your parent, mom or dad.
No, but it's just, I think it's just a comfort level with it all.
No,
like, it may be some women who feel like
put you in that boat, and it's a comfort level where now the father has the custody and he's around him all the time, and they're not calling you anymore. They're calling you Mel, and you carry this.
Realistically, that's just really not going to happen.
Why?
Because a kid is not going to start calling a parent, the other parent, by their first name just because they live with the other parent now. It's just that don't even make sense. That's just like saying my sister, because my mother got married and she lives in a house with our mom and my dad. She didn't go start calling her dad by his first name. That's still her dad.
Wait, hold on. You said your sister can't. I didn't hear what you said. Say what you said.
I said because my parents got married. My sister is in the household now with our mom and my dad. She didn't go start calling her dad by his name.
How old was your sister?
She was 2.
Okay, so 2 years old, started living with your mother's new individual, right?
Right.
Okay, so her biological father, was he still in her life, still doing what he had to do?
Still in her life. We would go like, I mean, I can't attest to when she was 2, but when she was like, and I was little, she's like 9 or 10. Just from when I can remember from, we would be in tap and ballet, and my dad would be there. Her biological dad would be there. They would, they wasn't friends, but they had mutual respect for one another. My dad still respected him as her biological father. You still take care of her. I'm not trying to be her dad, but I'm not trying to make her feel like I don't love her or respect her, or make her feel like, oh, I'm not your dad. Like, I just feel like it's kind of fucked up to where, like I said, if somebody gets married, now you have kids with this person. Like, okay, if Nate got married to somebody else and he got kids with her now, they kids running around, they calling they mother mom, and then Natalie come over and she calling her Sarah. That kind of make a kid feel fucked up.
No, not me. I grew up like that.
No,
Nate, your mother wasn't married to somebody when you was little. Niggas came into your life when you was older.
But look, take it to this. You say, okay, she comes over and now she's calling her Sarah. First of all, by her coming over, it's not making her with, because out of Monday through Friday, you at home calling your mother mom or doing what you doing. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when you come in and you gotta address her by her name, that's just what's going on over here. It don't make it feeling awkward, because this is already what's understood. If you communicate,
what I'm speaking on is if a child is little.
Let me ask you a question.
Murder.
Richie was raised up in the house with a stepfather.
Right. How old was Richie when the stepfather came in? How old was you, Richie?
My daddy left me when I was 7 years old.
Okay, so now
From there, but look, hold on. Before we get to that, because at the end of the day, I ain't just the oldest child. So before, when I came at 7, my older brother, this still ain't his father either, and I still got a younger brother
but
underneath.
that's my exact point. Y'all were older children. Like I said, when me and Nate started messing around, I wasn't gonna say, okay, Anthony and Kyrie, who's 9 and 13 years old, y'all gotta call him dad because this is who I'm with. No, and I wouldn't expect that, and I wouldn't expect Nate to expect that. But if Anthony was 1 years old and me and Nate is in a household together, and this is a father figure, even if his father is involved in his life, this is who he's seeing every single day and with every single day. It's kind of just gonna come naturally for him to be like, Dad.
That's not the argument, because I can understand.
That is the argument. I'm not saying that you gotta force a kid to. I'm saying it's just a comfort level with it all. If that's what comes naturally to that kid, I don't feel like it's disrespectful or belittling the other parent if this is how if that child feel that love and is comfortable with your significant other enough to see them as another parent. I don't feel like it's anything wrong with that.
It is if the biological father is present and doing what he do. He can only do so much being separated. But if he's doing everything he can do. But
I don't think that makes sense, because that's like saying, okay, well, I'm married. Your father ain't shit, so you could call your stepdaddy daddy. But now I'm married, but because your dad is still involved in your life, you can't call your stepdaddy daddy. That's what that is saying.
That is, if your father, because y'all didn't work
it don't have nothing to do with shit working out between you and the father. It don't have nothing. It don't have nothing to do with the outside parent is doing.
That comes back to put the shoe on the other foot. When it comes, just because y'all don't work out, so that's saying the child can't call you mommy no more. She got to call you by your name.
No, Rich, you not understand what I'm saying. I'm saying,
you said just because the parents don't work out, right?
Right.
So, and the father, because what we caught up in, because the where we come from, the father is not in the picture. The woman is the one.
Right. The woman is usually the one raising the
kid. So you coming from a perspective of the child is always with the mother, but just say switched over to where the mother and the father didn't work out, but now the child is with me. Yeah, you still provide as a mother. You teaching her about her period. You teaching her about everything, how to be a woman in life, but you still with your daddy. Your daddy's married to another woman, and he says, the woman taking care of you at home and you calling her mommy. No, you're not jacking that.
I wouldn't jack it if my child was older. No.
No, but Mel,
you wouldn't jack it if your daughter was too.
Regardless of older or not.
No, I would, because when kids is little, they're gonna start calling people as to how they are significant in their life. It's just gonna come naturally.
If you talk to your kids like, yo, listen, this is who I'm with, baby. This is my, because that's how my G shit. This is how my mom approached us, even though we knew.
Yeah, but Richie, y'all was 7, 8, and 9 years old. You're not gonna sit down with a 1 or 2-year-old and be like, listen, this is who I'm with. You don't gotta call him dad.
I was 7. My brother was 3 years old. Chase was still on some, my dad died. It was certain situations and conversations that had dad with him, like, yo, listen, this is what this is. And if it's a nigga from, and the only difference with ours, because my father was obsolete, the nigga was out of the picture. He wasn't around. So niggas who come around, it's like, okay. And then even with that, Chase still knew, oh, this ain't my dad. Like, you ain't my father, but you around, you doing what you do.
Right, but then again, if he felt like, again, it just go back to what the comfort level is. I'm not saying that if you get with somebody else, you tell your child, call him dad or call him mom, or because there's some people that do that, and I don't feel like that's right. I don't feel like that you should force it on any child, but I feel like if it comes naturally, if that child feel loved and secure with that other parent, if that your significant other loves that child is their own and that child feel that, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it.
I'm gonna tell you all this because listen, it ain't forced upon them or none of that. But what do a child don't just learn to say my dad unless it's being you saying dad, mama, you telling them to say that. Even if it comes to that age.
No. Okay, let me give you an example.
So if you're not if you know this is the name, you saying like, yo, this is what this is. If you ain't instilling dad or mama in them,
let me give you an example. When I first moved to the very first time I moved to Atlanta, Anthony was 1, right? Him and Kyrie used to go with their grandparents for the summer, for the whole month of July. So he was 2. So they was in Buffalo for the whole month of July with their grandparents, their aunts and stuff. I came to get him. Anthony was calling my sister mommy, because he don't know, you know what I mean? Like, it's when kids is that little, they don't know to say like auntie. They don't know to say like uncle. The first thing they learning is mommy and daddy. It's a lot of kids who, you know, and Nate, you can attest to it even with your godson. When he was little, he might said, you know, that's my dad. That's what kids learn when somebody show them love and they comfortable with that, you know, and it's just a parent figure. It's just going to come naturally. And I feel like it's not disrespectful to the other parent, regardless if that other parent is in their life or not.
Like with my godson, his dad not in his life.
But that don't have nothing to do with it, Nate. Like that go back to what I'm saying. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. Hold on. Okay, Richie, let's say, okay, Chanel married somebody else, right?
Right now.
Right now, why Sanaya baby? She married somebody else. You very much still take care of your daughter. She see you. She know exactly who the fuck you are, right? This other man is in the household with her though every single day. He play with her. He change her diapers. They go to the park. He drop her off at daycare. She's eventually going to start calling him dad.
No.
And it's no disrespect to you. And it's no, and then it's, oh my God. I'm just giving an example.
No, but Mel, look, let me tell you where the disrespect factor come in at. Because you speaking from a female perspective. You look, your intentions about it all are pure. But as a man, knowing this ain't my daughter and knowing that I'm a man that's still with my daughter and teaching her and with her as much as I can be, being that y'all together, I can't be there every day and living with her. But you know, every chance I get, I'm with her. I provide and I'm doing. You're not allowing this child or even doing that to be saying, dad. You're not letting her call you daddy. Period. You're gonna be like, yo, listen, you're gonna have a mutual respect for me as a man, knowing that I'm stepping up to the plate to handle my business. I'm not absolutely
that my 1-year-old. I'm not your daddy. Call me. I'm not your daddy. Call me.
No, it ain't about saying. No, it's not about I'm not your daddy. It's just like, yo, dad. When it comes to playing, when I talk to Sinai, I'm like, yo, mama, dad. That's why she said dad.
Yeah.
If he's doing that and playing with dad, she don't say dad.
But you don't have to play with a kid to just. You don't have to say to a kid, "I'm mama, I'm dad." It's just gonna automatically come. It's gonna start coming naturally to that child.
It's Sinai that's understood. Okay, dad, because any male figure who around you say Sinai says dad.
You go call dad, and that's exactly what I'm saying.
When you're 1 and 2, into the age of dad, and you know when you see it, that's dad. There's no way other man should be receiving dad, and you know I'm him. I could be no. Even with her, no, that's not. Even because if you tell kids, son, even you may not think of it because like, oh, they so little. But when you say no, when they get implemented and keep getting him, they know, nah, that's not that.
It's gonna be implemented. Okay, so let's for example, Sanai in a house with another man. She's 9 months old, right?
That's over with. I can't do it.
No, but let's just listen. You. So listen, they in the house together. She eventually, you know, like you said, she may be calling him dada. So now she 9 months, 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old. She know him still as dada. So now would you go sit down with a 4 or 5 year old and say, hey, don't call him dada no more because that's not your dad. You have to call him.
You gotta instill that shit in her. Yeah. Hey man, I'm telling you this.
Y'all not thinking of it like y'all just thinking it. No, because y'all thinking it of this as from your pride and from a male ego. Y'all not thinking about it from a child's perspective.
I'm gonna take that into perspective of what you said, right? So listen, what the deal, the X factor of that whole shit, and the deal breaker is all of that is where you're like, yo, listen, this is what we doing. Because any woman, if I'm dealing with, if me and Chanel have a crazy breakup right now, and we said we're not dealing with each other, the understanding and agreement that we gonna have is no niggas allowed around my child until a certain age or a certain level of.
That's not realistic.
No, yes, no.
Y'all can talk about it, but that's not realistic, Richie. Y'all could talk about it and y'all can agree upon it all you want. But if Chanel in a year meets somebody that she absolutely fall in love with, she gonna be like, Richie, listen, I met somebody and look, I think we gonna be in a relationship and Sanaya is probably gonna be around him.
Right, but
no woman and no man, if you was to break up with Chanel right now today and you say, Chanel, I don't want no woman around Sanai until she 8 years old. And you fall in love with somebody. That's not gonna happen.
Man, hold on, look, murder. Listen, let me tell you something. Listen, it ain't. I'm saying because that's just outrageous. Because listen, if we break up, first of all, we had a child. We had a child.
Hey, you got some crazy ass ways.
Hold on, listen. We had a child together.
I think
I'm gonna let y'all go. Just let me get this one across. So if we have a child together, like you said, we break up today. Like at the end of the day, we created a bond to have this child together. So it ain't just like, oh, we cool, and it's just like, oh, we done. We not speaking no more. So regardless of we done, I know I'm still talking, checking on her, I'm still her. Before you could just completely say, I cut off this nigga and the type of women that we into to be like, okay, I'm just cutting you off and I could fall completely for this next man within a year. It's not possible. It's like, yo,
I'm just giving that an example.
Hold on. So it's like, yo, yeah, you could date and do what you do because maybe I broke your heart or did some fuck shit. So you're like, I'm completely done with him. But as a father and as a man, he's still holding responsibilities. The respect you should have for your child's father and for your child to know that he's a good man as a father. I'm not just bringing the next person in just right now and to do that. Like, yo, give me some time.
That's not what I'm saying. So if y'all broke up right now and she got with somebody in 4 years,
I get the jailhouse ready, man.
She not gonna say, oh, because I love and respect you as a father, I'm not gonna be with nobody else because you don't want another man around your daughter. Man, that's not realistic.
Get the jailhouse ready, man.
That's not realistic. That's just like when I started dating Nate, me and the boys that have been broke up for about 6 years. I needed time to get my shit together and chill. But I knew that whenever I started dealing with somebody again, out of respect for him, I let him know, like, hey, I'm dealing with somebody. The boys will probably be around him a little bit more. And this is after I knew that this is somebody I wouldn't mind my children being around. This is somebody that I knew would probably be around for a minute. But
you said it took you you're a wholesome woman. You're a humble woman. You're a respectful woman. You're a smart woman. You said it took you 6 years to understand, okay, I could deal with the next person. The scenario you just said was within a year to be like, okay, no, because within a 6 year span of y'all breaking up, it gave time to
that was me. But a lot of women do break up with somebody and whatever the situation is, and then a few months later they with somebody else. Now do everybody his own. Now a woman can talk to another man and a kid not even be in the picture. I was messing with Nate for 10 years.
Does that make it right? Because every woman does that. If I'm still in my child's life, she about to call another nigga daddy?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Richie Richie said if him and Chanel, no, Richie said if him and Chanel broke up, they would have an agreement that Sanai would have to be whatever age before another man could come around.
No, Mel, I ain't say that. I ain't say that we would have to have that agreement.
Okay.
I'm just saying if we was to break up off the woman who I know Chanel, I just had a child by this woman. So before I have a child, I know what type of woman I'm dealing with.
Right,
so
of course.
That it's not gonna be okay in the next 6 months, regardless if we don't work or not. In the next 6 months or a year, you on to the next nigga. No, I know that for a fact that okay, if we break up and she's regardless if she hate me or not. What I do as a man and hold shit down, far as even if we're not together with her and my daughter, you not letting it. I'm not saying don't move on, still have your fun. But if you want to go and do shit, bring my daughter to me. Let me do it.
And I respect that definitely. I don't think that any parent period should let
you moving on to the next nigga. Okay, if you do move on to this next nigga, but our daughter, she's gonna know, mommy, daddy,
and daddy, definitely. And that's what I've been saying the whole time. But listen, listen. This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Your child will always know their parents, their mommy and daddy. Period. Regardless of who that other parent is dating, they're gonna know their mommy and daddy. I'm saying when a child is young and another person comes into the household and they're there every single day, helping take care of this child every single day, regardless is if the other parent is absent or not, it may come naturally to that child to call that other parent mom or dad. I don't feel like that's disrespect. I'm not saying that it should be forced on that kid. Like, oh, you got to call her mom. You got to call him. No, but if that's how your child is feeling like they're loved and they're comfortable and this is my stepdad. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I don't feel like you should sit down and tell your child, don't call him daddy because your dad feel like it's disrespectful to him. Don't call her mom because your mom feel like it's disrespectful. Now, if you overstepping boundaries and you doing stuff, not letting that other parent know, and that's, something different. But if you there and that child life day to day, and that's just something that come natural, I don't feel like it's anything wrong with it. No. Now, if a kid is older and you come in somebody's life, I mean, no, I don't expect a kid that you got a 10-year-old and you start making up school, and you tell him.
I don't talk about none of that. You supposed to, just like she's learning just how she gonna learn. I'm not jacking that shit. If we not together, and my child's 2 years old and you got a new nigga in the spot, I'm going to jail.
I'm not talking about with a new nigga. I'm not just talking about somebody that's there. I'm talking about if you had a wife
that you love with, that you about to fall in love with, that you think you about to walk down the aisle with. My daughter probably need to be sitting in the aisle in a chair with me. She might don't need to be in that way because she is not.
That's absolute, but that's stupid. That's dumb as hell.
If that nigga name,
you like I said, y'all thinking about it from y'all ego. Y'all thinking about it as disrespectful, or my child is calling this other person dad. You're not thinking about it from that child's perspective at all.
I am. This is my daughter. She's learning. She can learn a lot of shit.
This is my daughter. You're still not thinking about it from a child.
It ain't hard to learn that shit. It ain't hard. You ain't putting too much on
I'm not saying it's not hard to learn. I'm not ever saying that child thinks this is my dad. That's never what I said. That child knows who their parents are. That's not the argument. I'm saying if a child is in
you want her to call two niggas daddy at the birthday party.
I'm not saying it's something I would want. I'm saying if that's something that my child feel comfortable with, I'm not gonna say don't call him dad or don't call your stepmom mom.
But murder. Listen, when you got a child who's smart, a child knows daddy. I got a daddy.
I never said that your child. I said your baby, your parent.
I'm calling two people daddy. That causes confusion. Why I'm calling you daddy and you dad? It's like, yo.
Now they cause confusion It's
It
called,
don't cause no confusion at all. My sister wasn't confused at all. She knew that was her biological dad, and she knew that my dad was her stepdad. She knew that. She wasn't confused about it at all. She knew that she had these two men in her life that loved the shit out of her and would kill the fuck out of anybody for her. And she
Okay,
called
her brother's the same, her uncle's the same, her grandfather the same. She know the difference between all of them. Why don't she know that? Yo, okay.
Just like Natalie, 1 year old.
I'm not saying she don't know the difference. I'm not saying you don't know the difference. She know your child always gonna know who your parent, even if they got an absent parent. If they see their dad or they fucks up mama in the streets, like, damn, there go my dad, there go my mom. Your kid knows who their parents are. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you in a house and you marry and your kid is in a loving environment, it's gonna come natural for a little child to probably start calling that other parent mom or dad.
Let me ask you this.
Just like Natalie, mad smart. Natalie's smart enough to know Papa and she know Dada. She know when she see Papa and she know Dada. She's one. So that shit is instilled by women putting that shit in. I'm not jacking that shit. She learned that.
You don't have to, when a kid is little, you don't have to be telling a kid, this is this. It's gonna come naturally if somebody is around.
Yeah, so she need to know if another nigga around, she need to call that nigga by his name.
So let me ask you this. So because this is what seals the deal on a lot of it. So let's just put it into reality. Mm-hmm. So if you're dealing with someone and you're okay with your child saying, calling two individuals dad. Like she knows her father and the dude she's with. I'm cool with you calling him dad as well.
Mm-hmm.
No, man.
Listen, if I got married to somebody and that man loves my child and it was a genuine relationship between them and my daughter start calling him dad, of course there will be a conversation that I would have with Nate. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell my child, don't call him dad.
No, let me tell you something, because G shit, I can understand the factor, but only way that name will be accepted to be saying dad is if you're of age, like 14, 15 and up, and like, yo, this nigga been here since forever. All I know is him as being and to respect it. I'm going to call him dad. I know it ain't my dad. My dad ain't around, but I will call you that. But
that don't make sense. Okay, so you got a kid that you don't raise today, 14 years old. They've been calling you Sam today, 14 years old, and now they 14 and saying, "Oh, this all I know. I'm gonna start calling you dad."
That's a fact.
That don't make sense, and that's not realistic, and that's not how it's gonna happen.
If you know your dad,
I'm jacking that one. I like that.
He was doing what he's doing. It's like, yo, because at a certain age, it's like, yo. Once you become 40, you start understanding life. Like, damn, my dad wasn't, this man been here forever. Like, this all I know. Like, I know my dad's still around, but this nigga been here forever. So out of respect for him, it ain't even just about calling him dad. It's more now of a respect factor. Like, damn, when you're around, hey, yo, what up, dad? You ain't, because when you get old nigga like, dad, I've been here since you was little. Your dad did so much, but I've been here for 20 years. It's like, yo.
Okay, and I'm saying, okay, that can happen, but I'm just saying it's not realistic for a kid to grow up in a household with somebody, be calling them by their first name, and then all of a sudden just start calling them mom or dad.
So is it disrespectful for her not to call that nigga dad and he been in her life the whole time?
No, I don't feel like I feel like I keep telling y'all, I feel like it's a comfort level with that child. Let your child choose.
No. Whoa. See,
yes. Let your child choose, because at the end of the day,
right now, we got kids at 12 years old making decisions for themselves. If they can make a decision, what the fuck we here for? What the parents here for?
That's not a big life-changing decision, Nate. That's not a life-changing decision for a child to acknowledge they step parent as mom or dad. That's not a life-changing. That ain't gonna put no money in their pocket. It ain't gonna change their mind about it. It ain't gonna change their health, their wealth. That's not a life-changing decision. It's a title.
I got a lot of love for you, man. This one I do not agree with you on this.
We ain't gotta agree on it, but what I'm just saying, I feel like all I'm saying is happens.
Please, we need to audacity, do me the audacity to teach my daughter, if you get you another nigga, to not call her dad, because I'm going to act up. And somebody's going to jail. That's all I'm saying. And I'm done with it. That's all I'm saying. I don't got nothing to say, man. We can drop
I don't know.
the mic.
Maybe this is I got a different point of view because I grew up in a blended family, and it was just all respect and love. Like I said, I think a lot of men talk, especially when it comes to their kids, they talk from a point of just ego, and you not thinking about that kid. A lot of shit that we do to our kids when they little affects them for their entire life. Like I think, like if I go back and think about it, my parents was married. Me and my sister came along. We call him my dad. But my older sister, my mother tell her, don't call him dad. You call him Robert. You know how that make a kid feel? Like, damn, that shit. I'm not a part of the damn family. I'm not saying you gotta force anything on a kid, but I'm saying if it comes naturally, then let it go.
But if it ain't no understanding, then that's what causes that. Because what people
why do it have it? Listen, I'm not saying it has to be understand. Your kid know who their parents are. My sister know that this is my dad and this is my stepdad. Her dad came and got her every other weekend. Like I said, he was at all our basketball games. He did all that shit. My dad and her dad was there together, cheering her on. At all her birthday parties. It just was what it was.
When it comes to that, you got to take everything in all perspective. You say, okay, all the kids are saying dad, and she's saying Robert. But okay, when Robert come through and get his daughter and take her for the weekend, and just say the dad that they with, don't buy them 4 or 5 pair of shoes every week, buy them new clothes and come and do this. You know what I'm saying? So when they come back home, she did this with her father. You feel me? So Robert wasn't doing that. She did this with who her dad was. You feel me? So it's like when it comes, you got to look on both angles. So yeah, it makes the other kids look like, okay, yeah, we call this nigga dad, but when she go and chill with her real dad, she get all this. So why I got to come home and call this nigga dad? But I'll get this when I'm with my real dad.
No, I'm confused with what you just said.
So
you said my sister did with her dad. Her dad come get her. She come back with mad sneakers and clothes and shit like that.
You said your oldest sister didn't have y'all fired. She had to call him Robert, right?
Right.
They said that made that awkward because it's like, okay, yeah, I'm calling him Robert because this ain't my father. Was she aware of who her dad was? Was her dad in her life?
Yes. Her dad was in her.
So if her dad in her life, just hold on. So her dad in her life, just say her dad named Andy. So Andy come grab her, and for the weekend, Andy only grabs her. He don't grab none of the rest of them.
He ain't supposed to.
No, exactly. So he come get his kids, and for that weekend, he go and buy her 5 pair of shoes, 5 new, get her fresh. And for that weekend, y'all ain't getting. She come home with all this new shit. They're like, oh damn, where you get that? Oh, my dad bought this. So my dad bought it. So now that entitlement of my father, that's something to hold on your. So I'm doing for my kid. So you got to share that same joy with the next individual who ain't going to take you to do that weekend or do that. Like, yeah, y'all might.
That don't have nothing to do with it. That's still just a father taking care of his kid. They don't have.
So,
that's what he's supposed to do.
That's what gives you the title to be called a father. Because any nigga go have a baby and go fuck up with the next joint. But for you to provide and spend time and do what you do.
That's what I'm saying. If your kid is in a household and that other man that you're with, y'all married, y'all in a household, he providing. When he take his kids to go shopping and stuff to get sneakers and school clothes, your step kid going to, it's no difference. My dad didn't treat my sister any different. We got shit. She got shit. She was his kid.
Okay, so what's wrong with a side
like that? And the kid naturally starts calling the other person mom or dad. I don't feel that's disrespectful.
Okay, so look, now, if you put it in that perspective, so what's the difference in if a man got a woman and a man got a side joint? He do the same thing he do for this woman and this woman. But she only.
That's different.
What's different? What's different? Hold on, because now it comes to your feelings as a woman and how you should be treated. But now it's not about the kids.
You saying my husband got a side piece?
Regardless of, so yeah, because husband, nigga, anything you dealing with, you still get the same treatment and treated the same.
Okay, wait, line it up for me again. So my husband got a side piece, and what? They got a kid?
You don't gotta necessarily say husband because you take vows or whatever. But just because a baby father ain't no vows in that, you just had a child.
Mm-hmm.
You give this person any given time. So just your man. Your man fucking with you. And he taking care of you. He making sure you're right. You're at home with him every day. But at the same time, fucking with this next bitch. And he doing what he do, but they don't come home every day. How do you accept it for your child to be like, nah, because you in this household taking this, and then it's different when it comes to your feelings versus the child. That's not right.
That's a totally different situation. If I'm with him and he got a side piece, no, I'm not respecting or jacking none of that shit. Now, if we're not together and he with somebody else, if Nate was to go be with somebody else and she holding my baby down, I'm not going to be like, tell that bitch, don't have my daughter calling her mom. No.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
You don't have nothing to do with it. Murder. I'm not respecting no side joint.
Murder. Listen. You just said, because at the end of the day, a stepdad and a real dad is down their side piece, real piece. That's all it really is. You feel if a nigga's doing what he got to do. That's in perspective. Just look at the logic of the whole situation. A stepdad is a nigga who's in the picture now holding it down. But the nigga, your real baby father, whether you slide off, you still gonna fuck with the niggas. A nigga who's still in tune. He taking care of what he got to do, but he's not in the picture living in your household. So same thing. You got a man, I'm living with you. I'm giving you the put, I'm fucking with you hard body. But this same nigga, he can scratch this itch when I really need it that you can't really touch on. I go and do what I do. So it's the same. It is the same thing, regardless if you want to. Because now it's in a perspective of you thinking about yourself versus the kids. But just fuck all of that and put it all into one bowl, into perspective of what it is. You're saying it's okay for you to be dealing with whoever, and it's the new nigga who comes in, regardless if this other man is taking care of his responsibilities. It's cool for her to say, "Oh, this daddy," but then when it comes to you fulfilling your needs, you dealing with a nigga, and then this side nigga who's over here who's doing the same type of shit, but he's not home with you every day. He can't get that same respect.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, listen. if I'm in a relationship with somebody and I got a side nigga, let's put it in perspective for real. Because if I got a side nigga, then my main nigga obviously ain't doing something. That's how a woman move. If you fucking around in your dude, then your main dude ain't doing something right. Because women don't fuck just to, I mean, some women do, but real women ain't gonna just be out fucking if they man at home doing everything they supposed to be doing. But if I'm in a relationship and I got a side nigga and he doing just as much as more than my main nigga, then yeah, that nigga go get the same fucking respect. Hell yeah.
Murder, no.
Hey man, look.
Hell yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah. I might gotta move a little bit different. We may can't go out in public and shit like that, but respect factor, yeah.
No, but murder, no, that can't work like that. Because listen,
why it can't work like that?
Because when I'm coming to like, yo,
so hold on, let me ask you a question. So me and you ain't together, right? The baby too. I'm messing with her. I'm coming to get her 7 days a week. I'm doing 4, 3. So you saying you jacking that it's okay for Natalie to get over there and call her mom?
I'm saying if you was
no,
I'm not just I'm not just saying if you was just fucking with somebody. I'm saying if somebody is in a relationship and she is actually there with you, raising my baby, and my baby love her and feel comfortable, like, mommy, that's I'm not gonna be like, yo, that's not your mother. Because I know who I am as a woman. I know who I am as my daughter mom. And she know who I am as her mom.
Listen, okay.
I feel like that will only threaten the other parent that's not doing what the fuck they supposed to be doing. That's gonna threaten a parent that's not doing what the fuck they supposed to be doing as a parent.
Yeah, so listen, you ain't listen. Nothing I just said. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm Natalie's too. I'm messing with this chick. Natalie's 5 now, so it's okay because she 5. I've been messing with this girl for 3 years. So now she can call this girl mom, and my niggas can say,
"I'm not listening to what I'm saying." No, if you was messing with somebody since Natalie was 2 and now she 5, okay. So from 2 to 5 years old, she been calling her Sarah. Okay, it's not a kid all of a sudden just gonna be like, okay, well, this my mommy. I'm gonna start calling her mommy now. Usually that's not gonna happen. But
so what time talking?
But the thing is,
because the conversation we having is they give a pass to Russell Wilson, great dude, all that shit. They give him a pass because he been in that boy life since he was 1 or 2. So he get a pass. That's not Mel. He don't get that pass. Now how? So you telling me Natalie won? I get a girl right now, and me and her in a relationship, and she see Natalie 3-4 times out of the week. You're jacking her calling somebody else mom. You're jacking her shit.
I'm not saying if any parent is just fucking with somebody. I'm saying if y'all is in a household and you because you keep trying to just make it seem like you just fucking with. No, if you just fucking with somebody, no. I'm saying if your child is in a household with somebody and they're actually helping you raise this baby, they love that baby as they own, and your baby feel comfortable to call that other person mom or dad, I don't feel like that's disrespectful. If you just fucking with somebody, no.
But murder, that's the whole key to it. It's like, yo, when it comes to just living and building with someone, that shit take time. Nigga ain't just going to build and live with nobody in no 6 months. Nigga, that's a year, 2 years.
Okay, but that's right. You're
like, yo,
right.
But look, hold on. So within that year or two, as we were still going, regardless of how my child's mother or whatever, I'm not bringing. You know, I got a child because I'm rocking. I'm keeping that. That's what we building on. But I'm not comfortable with bringing around my child yet until I know that this is real. So for the whole year or two we've been kicking it, you ain't been around my child. So the whole year, she still know it's mommy or daddy. So then when that 2 years come forth and we rocking, and then you still come to find out daddy still been implemented as daddy. So then now when you rocking with this new person, the nigga say, oh, now you calling you daddy. Like, no, you got me fucked up.
No,
like, yo,
this is where y'all not listening to me yet. Like, take Sierra and Russell, for example. Like y'all said, he been in that little boy life since he was like 1 year old. Not just fucking with Sierra in his life, helping Sierra.
They were dating first.
Mel, that shit different. When money get involved, it's like, yo, you got a certain bracket of money. You could take me and treat me how I want to. It's like it ain't even.
My parents didn't have a bunch of money.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about with them. It's certain type of shit. The average nigga couldn't go kick it with Sierra and be like, oh, I'm gonna be around your son. For the average nigga would have had to be stringing her along for damn near 2-3 years to show her he was capable.
Okay, so let's not take Sierra. Let's use my mom and dad as example, right? Okay.
You do average individuals like us. If you do the average lifestyle, regular individual like us, the average person who's a wholesome woman and love her child and got care, some type of respect for what they doing, regardless of anything coming, they break up. I'm fucking with you. I'm not bringing you around my child till I know it's real. So in the average woman, it's more than 6 weeks to know that it's real. So like, yo, if it goes a year and some time, this a whole year we've been kicking it. Yeah, you fuck with me. You know I got a child, but you don't know my child. And within this time of this year that I've been doing, my child's father is still around. Regardless of we've been intimate, active, or anything, this child knows this man. So this man is the one who's been around. So now, okay, 1 or 2, just say y'all break up when nowadays 1. So now you're going into 2 years old. This is the only child the only man that she knows or he knows. Like, okay, this is my father. So then it comes into that second year. Now you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna introduce you to my child. So okay, now you introduce. That's time. Ain't even still know. Oh, this is what we rock. Because even when you get introduced, it's still like, okay, this is my child. It's still gonna take time before I can bring you into my home. So now the child, I introduce you to my child. So we rock it for a year or so with you knowing my child. She comes around a certain time, we kick it. that's still another year or two that goes in, but she's still interacting with her father. So then now on the third, fourth year, it's like, yo, we're gonna move together, and now you're around. But this whole time, she knows her father. It's like, yo, yeah, I know it's another person in the picture, but this is James that we talking about. But Daddy, I know you. So Daddy, I love you. So now when James comes in and we rocking, it's like, I'm not calling James Daddy because I know Daddy. Daddy been holding me down. I know that.
I agree with that, but what I'm saying, like, you gave that time frame. So basically, when that man came into that kid life, that kid was about 4 years old. Basically,
Well,
4 years. No, listen, 3, 4 years old, right?
Yeah.
So no, the kid not going to start calling you.
Hold on, Mel. Hold on. I'm about to let you get your whole perspective, but I'm gonna ask you this one question. I still want you to explain what you're explaining. I still want you. But now your whole idea and point of what you're proving is not of a woman of your caliber. The woman that you're speaking of is a woman who's freelancing and is active with, okay, I'm gonna move on and just do because I did what I did and deal with a nigga just cause. Because the timeline I just gave you was a wholesome woman like, yo, I had something to think about before I just bring another nigga into my life.
Definitely.
Okay, so the woman that you're
but in reality, everybody is not like my mother broke up with my sister's father, and my sister was 2 months old. She started probably dating again. I mean, granted, my mother was only 18 when she had my sister. So she started dating again when my sister was probably, I don't know, maybe 8 months old. When my parents got married, my sister was 2. And as a matter of fact, now that I'm remembering, because my dad used to always tell me the story, on their wedding day, my sister was their flower girl, and she saw my dad standing up at the altar, and she was like, Robert! And she ran down the aisle. So she didn't even start calling my dad. Because she was introduced to him as Robert. But because him being in that household and taking care of her and making her feel like her own, Dad naturally came to her. She always knew it's not my dad. Her dad came to get her all the time. Her dad paid his child support. She knew, had a great relationship with her dad, her biological dad. But she also had a great relationship with her stepdad.
Let me get this understood. So the dad, when you say calling dad, it ain't about like, oh yeah, this is my dad. It's dad on respect, like
respect, right?
Dad.
Right.
Okay, well, see, that's different.
She started calling him dad, but she started calling him dad when she was little. It wasn't oh, she 10 years old now. Oh, I've been in a household with you all this time, so now she was calling him dad. She just did it on her own, and my parents flowed with it.
And you know what's another big factor of that? When it comes, because you talk about it's a woman perspective. A woman is quicker to call and be like, yo, respect the man, like, yo.
The boys don't do that
versus
shit.
A dude. A man ain't jacking that. When it comes to a man,
but that's what I'm saying. You're not looking at it from a child's point of view. That's your ego.
No, I'm
let's flip it around.
That's real shit. Like, what nigga wants to walk around at somewhere and their daughter calling another nigga dad? What nigga wants that?
Let's flip it around then, right? Let's say y'all start dating a girl tomorrow, and she
calling her mom.
Oh, listen, y'all start dating a girl tomorrow, and she has a 6-month-old baby. Now this baby growing up, and that you in a household with this baby every day, you are playing your dad part. Now his dad is still involved in his life. His dad still come get him. He know exactly who his dad is, but he starts calling you dad. Are you gonna sit down with that 3-year-old and say, I'm not your dad, call me Richie?
Yes.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
You're not. So listen, if his dad is active and his dad it's a common respect as a man. If his dad is still around, I can't allow this man to call me dad.
It's definitely a respect factor. But at the end of the day, if a kid call you dad, if they feel loved and that's what they look at you as another parent, I don't feel like it's respectful. It's doing it naturally.
If a little nigga come up like, oh, yo, dad, I'm not be like, oh, nigga, I ain't your daddy. I'm not doing that. That's wicked. But when it comes down, when we have intimate moments and we're chilling, I'm like,
okay,
listen.
all right. So you sit down and talk to him and say, you know what? You know I'm not your dad. You know your dad is such and such. You know, you just call me Richie. And he'd be like, no, but I love you. I'm going to call you dad.
Man, that's fairy tale.
Man, that's fairy tale shit, man. That's Disney Channel, man.
That's just like when Doodle Butt met your mother, Nate, and he straight up asked her, well, what do you want me to call you? Can I call you grandma?
My mom just put that shit on
everything. It doesn't matter. When a kid feel that love and they feel like they included, it's going to naturally come.
Doodle Butt met my mom. He asked her what you want me to call her. And she called me grandma. But Doodle Butt got respect, so he just calling her grandma. You get what I'm saying?
Listen, that's why, that's why I say, yo, murder. When I say,
that's because he felt like he was a grandmother figure to him. So he like, yo.
So like you just said, at that age, I met Doodle Butt. I was supposed to walk in the house and say, hey, Doodle Butt, I'm your dad. So you called me dad?
No, I said that. You're not listening. You're not listening to what I said when a child is little, it could come naturally to them. I said, now, if you meet somebody kid and they 10, 11 years old, no, I wouldn't be like, oh, you got to call him dad.
So, Mel, like you just said, when Doodle Boy walked in the house, he asked my mom what to call her, and she said, call me grandma. That's a respect factor that he doing. But what's the difference of me walking in when I meet Doodle Butt and me and you start fucking around and I tell Doodle Butt, hey, Doodle Butt, call me dad. Nah, he's not taking this.
That's totally different, Nate.
Listen, I'm gonna go back to what you said.
Different. Because if he didn't feel like if he didn't feel like she loved him like a grandmother, he would have just called her Miss Claire. He wouldn't have asked to call her and like, well, shit, you know what? Can I call you grandma?
No, murder. See, listen, let me tell you something, because you raised your kids with respect. So regardless if you fuck with her or not, he was gonna ask her what I call you, man. Like, he would
have just continued to call her Miss Claire.
No, Doodle Butt got all
he got mad respect, man.
I don't give a fuck what you talk about. You raised your son right. I don't give a fuck if he ain't like him or nothing. He got respect in him. He ain't treating no dog.
When he first met her, he was calling her Miss Claire, right? Months down the line, after he knew her, after she treated him like her own grandson, she gave him, bought him stuff for their birthday, but it was that comfort level. If he didn't like her or he didn't feel comfortable with her, if he would have just continued to call her Miss Claire. But no, he looked at her as a grandmother.
Also had the respect, man, because most kids come around.
Even if he did have the respect factor, that's fine. But I'm saying he still was respecting her by calling her Miss Claire. He never had to say, "Can I call you grandma?" She made him feel comfortable in that space. She made him feel like her grandchild. So he would call her
child like 8 or 9. He makes him feel like that's his dad. He take care of him, do stuff for him on his birthday. Months down the line, he can walk in the room and say, "Hey, man, from now on, call me dad."
No. I'm not never telling a parent. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm not never saying a parent should ever come in and say, "Call me mom" or "Call me dad," or "You have to call him dad," or "You got to call her mom." I'm saying if a child is in that space, if they feel loved and comfortable in that space, it's going to come natural to them. And I feel like if it happens, then you shouldn't be like, don't do that.
No, murder. This is what I'm telling you so I got two perspectives for you. I got the first one when they come in, it's like, yo, okay, yeah, you ain't doing shit like, yo, he around his father or whatever, and then they come, I'm not off the rip when you come like, yeah, I'm not your dad. But if you go chill with your dad that weekend and you come, me being an individual when I'm home, I engage with you. When you come around, like, especially if it's a son, like, yo, you have fun, what have you, like, yeah, I was with my dad, da-da-da-da. Listen, this your father. You start engaging, like, yo, at the end of the day, you instill that in them as a kid, like, yo, that's your dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm around, I'm with your mother. because this is what happened. You can call me this, or you can call me this. Like, yo, I'm not telling you not to call me, but this is what's going on.
Here, he said, y'all niggas talking too much.
Okay, you do what you do, so I can respect that as one. So it's like you don't come in, but you gotta talk to these kids. That's the one perspective what I was saying. Mm-hmm. But then as what y'all was saying, and when it comes to that, if you don't communicate and talk to a motherfucker, boy, that shit can go left. Like, yo.
But that wasn't like a conversation. The conversation was just if it's disrespectful or whatever. And I just said that I feel like, of course, you would still have conversations between the parents and everything, and it got to be a respect factor and stuff. All I'm saying is if you're in a relationship with somebody and that child start calling you dad or mom, they feel comfortable in that space to do so. And I don't feel like you should tell that child, don't call him this or don't call her that, because that's what that baby feel comfortable doing. And as an adult, so let's understanding, like, okay, well, this person loves my baby.
So if he coming in calling his, like, yo, that nigga around, he calling me daddy, I'm calling him daddy. But then he around his kids at school and niggas is fun boys, and he like, oh, that's my boyfriend. What you gonna say?
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, he calling him daddy because he around this nigga at home.
My kid calling him daddy.
But he go to school, he fucking with his best friends, niggas who he feel he closest with. Like, nah, they said it's my boyfriend. This is what, nah, that's my boyfriend. I like him. What you saying?
Wait, you said that's my boyfriend. I like him.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's saying this is his image. Just take it out of it, because kids have they imagine that what they feel. He goes to school every day.
My son goes to school every day.
Yeah, I like to be around this familiar man, or like, yo, this other boy that's a friend of mine. And I call him up. Oh, I like that. What you come on, like, that ain't right. You nipping it in the bud, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why not nip in the bud your comfortability of love? This is your father, and this is not your father.
I never.
This is how you
feel. Listen, y'all keep trying to go around in circles as to this your daddy and this your stepdad. A kid is going to know that. A kid is going to know who their parent is, regardless. A kid they're not, because I'm calling you daddy, you not my daddy no more. That's not how it works. A kid knows, yes, this is my dad, but this is my stepdad, and I call him dad. It's not that he don't know the other parent or that he go stop looking at the other parent as his dad. It's just
we appreciate you coming out to fuck with Fat Nasty and the Belly Gang boys, man.
Yo, Murder, call the phone after this.
Yeah, man. This shit ain't over, man.
Yeah, I'm done talking to y'all monkey asses. Y'all retarded.
Yo, tell them about your new glam shop you opening up, man. Tell them the name, man.
It's Body Beauty Bar in Buffalo. But one will be coming to Atlanta soon.
Shoot the IG out there.
Shoot the IG out there, man.
IG is Bodied Beauty Bars with an S.
Yeah, make sure you ever in fucking Buffalo. Fuck with my folks, man. World's greatest mom. But we signing out tonight, man. Belly Gang boys, man. Let me put my belly on your butt.
You ain't put your belly on nobody ass.
My baby called another nigga dad. I'm going to jail. I will fuck with y'all, man. It's been real, man. Signing out.
I love y'all.
Love you too.
Love you too.